Hello and welcome to session 8 of our beginners program. This is our non-movement meditation practice. So first of all, come into your body, make sure that you're set up correctly, whether you're lying down or seated for this practice. Come into yourself by closing your eyes and start becoming aware of how your body, how your mind and how your system is today. And start to remind yourself of how far you've come. This is session 8. So over the last 7 sessions, we've been developing and growing on the 6 keys of success. So as a reminder of these, it's enthusiasm, virya, perseverance, titiksha, discernment, viveka, faith, shraddha, courage, parikrama, and inspiring company, sangha. So just feel these in your system and what resonates with you today. For a lot of us, there's a huge amount of power in those beginning few words, of that enthusiasm you bring to your practice, to that perseverance that you kept going. Like we all have wobbly moments, we have all weeks where we just don't feel like it, but there's something immensely powerful in still choosing to practice, to explore, and to keep finding out what these different types of practices do within our systems. So just feel into how far you've come and also what you've been developing by practicing as a group, that we don't do this just by ourselves, we do this collectively, even if that other person that's practicing is elsewhere. So just feel into inspiring company that we touched on last time and start to bring in that inspiration into your practice for today. So we touch on the Namaste Kriya with this. This is where we find our inspiration, our bhakti, our desire, and then we seal that into our heart, the thing that's prompting us to explore and practice today. And we honor this space that's happening in all of us by taking an internal bow to ourselves, to each other, and to the practice itself, the yoga method. Namaste. So as always, we're coming into our practice open, fresh. Drop what you've known of yourself before when you practiced. So allow yourself to be just as you are and start to become aware of where you are. So bringing yourself into the room. So often we like to let our thoughts run all over the place. We call it monkey mind. So we often think about the future, we worry about things, we plan, we have those endless lists. Or we might be in the past often, that our minds like to jump about and think about what we've been through before, we can get very stuck. And then we get very fixed grooves in our minds. So we almost have certain, even quite uncomfortable or unhealthy thought patterns that we'll just find ourselves going to, especially if we're tired. So it's learning to retrain these grooves, these thought patterns, by using your awareness. So as much as you can, come into the room, come into your body, as we start to engage with the woodblock and the senses around us. So just listening out for that woodblock and start bringing your awareness into the room you're in right now. So very gently, from feeling your presence in the room, allow your eyes to engage with it. So gently start to blink the eyes open and just take in a little bit of it. It doesn't need to be much, but just become aware of the light in the room. Just noticing where it falls. Noticing the shade, the areas that are dark, but also the areas that are quite bright. It's just really noticing the textures and the contrasts. Now bring that awareness more inward, so slowly start to close the eyes and bring your awareness into the eyes themselves. So it's feeling into the eyeballs. So keeping the awareness there for one more moment. And then send it through to your ears. So being aware again of the room, of the sounds in the distance. Middle distance. And then close up. Taking in the sounds of your surroundings. Now place your energy, your awareness in your ears. So physically feel into your ears. And then slowly bring that same awareness to your skin, your face, to your head, to your surface. And feeling the facial muscles underneath. And then bring that sensation, your awareness, to your mouth. Focusing on the lips, teeth, gums, roof of mouth, tongue, and noticing taste. Now bringing that awareness up into the nose. So feeling physically into your nose. And just noticing if there's anything you can smell, whether external or internal. Okay. So bringing that awareness now and moving it slowly up to the point between your eyebrows. So we're going to come into our sun moon pulsing that you're familiar with previous sessions. So working with the two halves of our nervous system, our sympathetic and parasympathetic. So we're learning to work with the pendulum through the woodblock. So going from one extreme to another as then we find that balance point over time. So it's working on nervous systems with our mind's attention. So bringing that awareness to that midpoint between the eyebrows, just slightly back into the middle of the brain. So just bring the attention there, ready for the first pulse outward. So expanding your awareness to your surface, to your face, your skin. And then coming back internally with your awareness to that midpoint of the brain. Outward, expanding out into life with your awareness, your energy. And then back in with that contraction to the midpoint of the brain. So you're feeling a pulse with your awareness, expanding out. And then retracting back in. So feel as almost it's an elastic band. So coming outward, stretching out with the attention, and then the elastic pull back to the center of brain. But then there's an expansion out again. So again, it goes back and forth. And you've got room to move with your awareness back inward. So coming outward towards the light, the warmth, the sympathetic. And then inward, the cool, the dark, the parasympathetic. So allowing yourself to move outward, to explore with that awareness. And then inward, to rest a moment, to find the flip side. Okay, outward, try expanding a little bit beyond where you've been now. And then back into the center. So expanding on this next pulse. Outward into maybe the body, maybe a little bit beyond the face, the head, and then back into the center again. So you're exploring your awareness. outward, sending that energy out to the limits and a little bit beyond, inward, feeling a sense of room for maneuvering, outward, inward. So it's like you're taking a scan of the energy. So outward, scanning through the body, the energy and beyond, inward, scanning all the way back through to that midpoint, outward, inward. Okay, now see if you can change the location you start from. So still take that outward journey from the midpoint of the brain, but this time imagine coming back to the heart. So you're coming into that center point of the whole body, and then expand your energy from your heart outward. Inward, back to the heart. So we're really talking about the qualities of the heart as well here. So outward, fitting into the energy, the electricity, the magnetism of it. Inward, feeling the power that comes from love. Keep following that pulse as it goes out. Inward. So there's a lot of strength in our chests. So you're feeling that energy expand, the qualities of it, that open chestedness and that inhale, going back into the heart. Outward, following that pulse. And inward, back into the center of our being. So following this pulse of expansion, of brightness to the outside, and that inward retraction to regain the energy. 2 more of these pulses. Expanding, contracting, finding that movement within your thoughts, within your mind. 1 more, outward, and then returning back into the center. Okay, now rest here for a moment. So keep your energy in the center. Keep bringing all of it in, as we're going to come into the similar practice that we did last session. So just reminding yourself about Nadi Shuddhi. This is the balancing of our energetic pathways. This is where we worked on that triangle from the left to the right. So you're using your mind's awareness from any point in the body, but usually working with the face, with the left nostril and the right nostril. So it doesn't matter that the breath may not be working through these channels currently, but you can work with your guided awareness. So with the woodblock, just bring your awareness now to the left side of your face, and then focus on the left point of your jaw, your chin. Now imagine with the woodblock drawing up to the point between your eyebrows, so the left side of a triangle, and then back down to the right side, the jaw, the chin. So you're making a pyramid shape. Then going up to the midpoint, point between your eyebrows, so the apex of the triangle, and then back down the left side. So that's your route, that's 1 cycle. So left up to that midpoint between your eyebrows, and then down the right side, nostril or face to your jaw. So drawing that line between the points, going up between the eyebrows, and then down the left side of the nose, mouth, jaw. So drawing that straight line between eyebrows, then down the right side to right chin, right jaw. Feeling the rebound. So follow your awareness, midpoint, and then back down the left side, left nostril to jaw. So keep following the woodblock with your awareness, point between eyebrows, down right side, moving the energy in your awareness. Going up the right side. And then following it down the left side. So you're working with the two halves of your nervous system. The left side going up to the point between your eyebrows, right at the last moment before the woodblock, and then down the right side. So this is your sympathetic side when you're working with the right. So going up the right. And then ready to go down the left, parasympathetic. So you're moving your energy with your awareness and working on these nervous systems. Left side, going to the point between your eyebrows. And then down the right side to the jaw. So right side to point between the eyebrows, going up. And then down the left. Okay, so ready to expand that energy a bit bigger now. So still the point between the eyebrows, going up the left. But try exploring what it is on the way down the right to go a bit bigger. So maybe go down to collarbone, maybe to chest. And going up the right side. Still finding that tipping point at the point between the eyebrows. And then going down the left, so go bigger. Exploring into neck, collarbone, chest. Drawing that line. Going up, point between the eyebrows, and then down the right side. So start taking more of your energy. So feeling right side up. Left side down. Going bigger each time, using that body, that energy up to the midpoint, between the eyebrows, and then expanding down the right side. Sending the energy out. Harnessing it up, right side. Going down the left. Exploring into your energy. So you get to bring it up. You get to explore and push that energy into areas that maybe you've not broached upon before, you've not tried. Coming up the right side. Point between the eyebrows, and then going down the left side. So you're engaging that awareness, your nervous system, your big energy, up the left side. Point between the eyebrows, right side. Okay, we're going to bring this all into alignment soon. So bringing up the right side, point between the eyebrows. Then we go down the left side. And now this time, see if you can bring the energy up through the middle. So bringing it straight up to the point between your eyebrows, like a line directly up, and then allow it to fall back down again. So this may be just a jaw, but it may be collarbone, maybe heart. Bring it up. So raising it to that middle point, between eyebrows, and back down again. So we're coming into that central column of energy, coming up. Sushumna is its name. Bringing it down again. So going to maybe where you feel, but also beyond. Coming up to the midpoint, between your eyebrows, and sending that energy back down again. So if you can imagine the very base of your spine coming up, midpoint of brain, and then going all the way through the spine, that central column of your body, the base up. Just following it through with awareness, with imagination, and back down again. To the very, very root of your spine. 2 more, coming up to that midpoint of the brain, and back down again. Going with whatever internal sensations, energy you can feel coming up. The last one, bring your awareness to that midpoint of brain, and then expand it down. Now very gently, bring that awareness up into your chest, the heart, and then allow that energy to expand out. Wood block's finished. So just come into the awareness now of your system and your energy. Feeling into that heart space, your center. feeling the energy that you're made of. Allowing any thoughts, ideas, feelings that have been stirred up maybe by the practice to settle themselves, to play themselves out. It's very normal for the mind to come up with lots of things when we have a simple, regular beat, that you're creating a structure and the mind starts to unravel. So a lot of thoughts and feelings, emotions can come up sometimes, not always, that's also normal. So it's a bit like dreaming where your brain gets to process. You're giving your nervous system time to process. Just allow yourself to be with the energy that you've been conjuring, you've been creating through your thoughts, through your awareness, and through that focus. Very gently, bring that awareness slowly back to your core, to your center. Just feeling the energetic changes that have gone on. Reminding yourself of what it is that you practice for, what you look for, that inner fire, your bhakti, what keeps driving you. And just take stock of how every practice is fresh every time. It doesn't matter how we come to our practice. It's the fact that we have that inner determination, that real sense of longing to explore and feel alive. So feeling into your own qualities, your own energy, and just really acknowledge what you've been doing over these sessions. We're going to bring the practice to a close with our Namaste Kriya. So bringing that awareness, your energy into the core and taking an internal bow to it. Really saying thank you to the work that you've been doing, that you've done today. Saying a big thank you to those people that have been practicing around you, the people that have supported you to do these practices. And take an internal bow to the practice itself. This toolkit that so many yogis have contributed to over the years, over the millennia. Namaste.
Namaste.